The phone rang in Jelena Ostapenko's hotel room in Linz, and the 2017 French Open champion picked up expecting a routine interview about her clay season. Instead, the questions came fast and sharp. "You've lost to Alex Eala twice? Are you worried about a third?" Ostapenko's face tightened. The Latvian, known for her fierce competitiveness and explosive power, has spent her entire career being the one opponents fear. She has beaten Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, and Karolina Pliskova on her way to 9 WTA titles. But against a 20-year-old Filipina ranked number 46 in the world, she is 0-2. The first loss came at the 2025 Miami Open, where Eala announced her arrival by dismantling the former Grand Slam champion 7-6-2, 7-5. The second came just 3 months later at Eastbourne, where Ostapenko was forced to retire, trailing 0-6, 6-2, 3-2, unable to continue as Eala mounted a stunning comeback. Now, on the clay of the Linz Open, Ostapenko's best surface, the surface where she won her only Grand Slam, they are set to meet again, and for the first time in her
Alex Eala's Miami momentum continues. The wild card.
Jelena Ostapenko is not a player who panics. She is a player who makes others panic. At just 20 years old, she stunned the tennis world by winning the 2017 French Open, defeating Simona Halep in a dramatic final after saving match points. It was her first career title. She became the first unseeded woman to win Roland Garros in the Open era. The Latvian powerhouse announced herself as a force that could not be ignored. Since then, Ostapenko has added 8 more WTA titles to her collection, bringing her career total to 9. She has beaten the best in the world. In recent seasons, she has defeated Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, and Karolina Pliskova on her way to deep runs in tournaments across the globe. On clay, her resume is even more imposing. The 2017 French Open title remains the crown jewel of her career, and she has consistently performed well on the red dirt. The slower surface gives her time to set up her powerful ground strokes, and her aggressive baseline game can overwhelm opponents who struggle to handle her pace. That is the Ostapenko the tennis world knows: aggressive, uncompromising, fearless. She doesn't retreat, she attacks. She doesn't doubt, she believes. But something has changed. In the days leading up to the Linz Open, Ostapenko has been uncharacteristically quiet. The Latvian, known for her outspoken personality and candid interviews, has deflected questions about the potential Eala matchup. When pressed about her 0-2 record against the Filipina, her responses have been brief. The history between Alex Eala and Jelena Ostapenko tells a story that few could have predicted. In 2 meetings, the 20-year-old Filipina leads 2-0. Their first encounter came at the 2025 Miami Open. Eala, then an unknown wildcard ranked number 140, walked onto the court against the former Grand Slam champion and did the unthinkable. She matched Ostapenko's power, absorbed her pace, and won 7-6-2, 7-5. It was the match that announced Eala's arrival to the tennis world, her first top 20 victory, the first domino in a run that would see her defeat 3 Grand Slam champions in a single tournament. The statistics from that match were telling. Eala served at 73%, winning 61% of her first serve points. She converted 5 of 12 break points, while saving 11 of 15 break points against her. The match lasted nearly 2 hours, but Eala never wavered. She saved set points, weathered Ostapenko's power, and closed out the victory in straight sets. 3 months later, at the Eastbourne Open, they met again. The first set was a disaster for Eala, a bagel, 0-6. But the Filipina didn't break. She came back in the second set, winning 6-2. In the third set, with Eala leading 3-2, Ostapenko retired due to injury. The official result gave Eala the win, but the message was clear. The Filipina had gotten inside the Latvian's head. Now, as they prepare for a potential third meeting at the Linz Open, the stakes are higher than ever. Ostapenko is seeded number 4 in the tournament, ranked number 20. If there is any reason for Ostapenko to be confident heading into this potential clash, it is the surface. Clay is where she made her name. Clay is where she won her only Grand Slam. The Linz Open has been moved to indoor red clay for the first time in its history, a surface change that should benefit the Latvian powerhouse. On clay over the past several seasons, Ostapenko has consistently performed well, using her powerful ground strokes to dictate play and overwhelm opponents. Eala's clay record, by contrast, has been modest at best. Last year, she failed to progress past the second round in any of the 4 clay tournaments she entered. She lost in the round of 16 at the WTA 125 Awaris Ladies Open, crashed out in the round of 64 at the Madrid Open, and was eliminated in the first round at both the Italian Open and the French Open, posting a 2-4 win-loss record on the surface. The disparity in clay experience is significant. Ostapenko has spent years mastering the red dirt. Eala is still learning. But Eala has been preparing. In the weeks leading up to the Linz Open, she returned to the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca to train on clay. She even practiced alongside former world number 1 Iga Swiatek. For Jelena Ostapenko, the pressure heading into this match is immense, and it has nothing to do with rankings or prize money. The Latvian has built her career on being the aggressor, on making opponents fear her power. But against Eala, that dynamic has been flipped. The Filipina has beaten her twice. The Filipina has proven that she can handle Ostapenko's pace and redirect it. The Filipina has shown that she is not intimidated by the former Grand Slam champion's resume. And now, Ostapenko faces the prospect of losing to Eala for a third time, on her best surface, in a tournament where she is the number 4 seed. The psychological weight of an 0-3 head-to-head record would be crushing. For a player like Ostapenko, who thrives on confidence and momentum, a third loss to Eala could have lasting consequences. It would not just be a loss, it would be a pattern. It would confirm that Eala has her number, that she has figured out how to beat the Latvian consistently. That is why Ostapenko's silence is so telling. The Latvian, who has never been shy about expressing her opinions, has gone quiet. She has avoided talking about the potential matchup. She has deflected questions about her 0-2 record. Her camp has insisted that she is focused on her own game, not on the opponent. But those who know Ostapenko recognize the shift. This is not the same player who confidently declared, "I'm not scared of anyone," after beating Sabalenka. This is a player who is feeling the weight of expectations and the weight of history. On the other side of the net, while Ostapenko struggles with the psychological weight of their history, Alex Eala is playing with the quiet confidence of someone who has already proven she belongs. Her victory over Julia Grabber was not just a win, it was a statement. The 6-2, 6-3 scoreline demonstrated that Eala's game translates to clay. Her movement was smoother than it had been on hard courts. She slid into shots, recovered quickly, and constructed points with patience and precision. "I think I played one of my best matches on clay," Eala said afterward. "The conditions are different here, slower, heavier, but I felt comfortable from the first point. The training at the academy really paid off." That training included sessions alongside Iga Swiatek at the Rafa Nadal Academy, the 4-time French Open champion who knows the clay surface better than almost anyone, provided valuable insights that Eala has incorporated into her game. "Having the chance to train with Iga was incredible," Eala said. "She has so much experience on clay, and she was generous with her advice. I feel much more prepared for this surface than I did a few months ago." Eala's approach to the match is characteristic. If Alex Eala defeats Jelena Ostapenko at the Linz Open, it would be more than just another win. It would be a statement that echoes across the tennis world. For Eala, a third victory over the former French Open champion would solidify her reputation as a giant killer. She has already beaten Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and Jasmine Paolini. Adding a third win over Ostapenko, especially on clay, would send a clear message: she belongs in the conversation with the sport's elite. It would also provide a significant boost to her ranking. A quarter-final appearance in Linz would add 100 points to her total, moving her closer to the top 40. A semi-final run would add 195 points, pushing her back toward the top 35. A title run would add 500 points, catapulting her to a new career-high ranking. But the psychological impact would be even more significant. Ostapenko has been a thorn in the side of many players, but Eala has proven that she can handle the Latvian's power and aggression. A third victory would remove any remaining doubt about that matchup. For Ostapenko, Jelena Ostapenko has spent her entire career being the player that others fear. She has beaten Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, and Karolina Pliskova. She has won a Grand Slam on clay. She has 9 WTA titles to her name, but against Alex Eala, she is 0-2. The first loss came at the 2025 Miami Open, where Eala announced her arrival with a 7-6-2, 7-5 victory. The second came at Eastbourne, where Ostapenko retired, trailing 0-6, 6-2, 3-2. Now, on the clay of the Linz Open, Ostapenko's best surface, they are set to meet again. The Latvian has gone quiet in the days leading up to the potential clash. The outspoken champion, who once declared, "I'm not scared of anyone," is deflecting questions and avoiding the topic. The silence speaks volumes. For the first time in her career, Ostapenko looks genuinely rattled. Eala, meanwhile, is playing with quiet confidence. She trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy alongside Iga Swiatek. She won her opening match at the Linz Open convincingly. She has beaten Ostapenko twice before. She knows what it takes.